Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're well, thank you for joining me again. Walk around for this one. Well, it's getting a bit murky outside. Speaking of murky, some people's pasts can be a little bit murky. Things they got up to, things they said, things they'd like to forget, which can come back and bite them in the bum later on. Funny that, isn't it? There's an awful lot of dirty laundry being washed in public with regard to political candidates over something they may or may not have said on social media 10 years ago. There's about 2 or 3 examples I've seen where people have expressed their beliefs about something they were into at the time, or they made a comment that perhaps maybe they shouldn't have done at the time. Roll forward years later and they want to get into politics, it comes back and bites them on the arse, because as we've seen, as we've been shown again and again and again, the mainstream will go to any lengths they can to dish the dirt on somebody. Now there's quite a high profile reform candidate, and no, it's not Noel Wilcox, by the way, he will remain nameless, who made a comment on a topic on social media several years ago. One of the national newspapers phoned him up and said, "Oi, we know what you said and we're going to run with it." And he justified what he said very expertly, and they ran away with their tail between their legs. But not everyone's that lucky, are they? If you get into this kind of political life, this political existence, you have to be squeaky clean. There can't be nothing whatsoever, because they will dish the dirt on you, they will bring it to the surface, they will either ruin you or they'll use what you said to try and ruin the organisation that you want to represent. Now reform is the case in point here. When I said there's about 2 or 3 that I'm aware of, they've been forced to resign or they've been kicked out, and it's over something that they said maybe a decade ago, where their thoughts and their feelings about situations may have been a little bit different. So what do you have to do to weed out the wheat from the chaff, as they call it? Well, you need to vet your candidates. You need to be sure that who's going to represent you is squeaky clean. Well, let's face it, not everybody is squeaky clean, are they? If you say you are, you're a damn liar, and that does include me. Everybody has said or done something in their past they live to regret, but we learn from it, we move on. Well, Reform paid an external vetting company £144,000 by all accounts. You can see the line here, a 6-figure sum to vet their potential candidates. And where the general election was called as early as it was, they're like, "Oh my God, what are we going to do? Rush, 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 rush." And it puts the whole thing into complete disarray. Now, allegedly, this vetting company has links to the Conservatives, and therefore brings into question whether some silly shenanigans might be at play here, which will obviously need to be investigated. But to go back to the moral of the story, how can you be absolutely sure anyone is squeaky clean? And the final thought, I find it quite hypocritical, because you've got the establishment, Conservative, Labour. I'm not going to tar everybody with the same brush, but everybody has done or said something to somebody somewhere that perhaps they shouldn't have done. And it's a bit rich coming from them, where scorn is poured on anyone trying to get into the game as well and do the right thing by the British public. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. As always, if you're on social media, give me a share. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Toodaloo.